Even if they are acting like you don't exist right now, you can reach a point where they start missing you so badly that they can't stay away. And I'm not saying this as motivation or false hope. I'm saying this because the way people feel about you is not fixed, it is created. And once you understand how this works, you stop chasing and you start attracting. You stop waiting and you start deciding. I know what it feels like when someone slowly pulls away. At first, everything is perfect. They text you, they call you, they make you feel special, and then suddenly things change. The replies get dry, the effort disappears, and you are left wondering what went wrong. You start checking your phone again and again. You overthink every small thing. And deep inside, there's only one desire. You want them to miss you. You want them to feel your absence. You want them to come back. And the truth is, they will. But not in the way you are trying right now. Right now, most of your actions are coming from fear. You are thinking about them more than yourself. You are reacting to what they are doing instead of deciding what you want. And that is the exact reason why they are not missing you. Because in your mind, you are the one missing them. And whatever you consistently feel, your reality reflects back. So the first shift you need to make is simple, but powerful. The current version of your story with this person is not final. It is just a reflection of your past assumptions. That's it, nothing more. There was a time when things were good between you and them. That version also came from your state, your beliefs, your energy. And if you created that version once, you can create a completely new version again. People think that when someone loses interest, it's over. But interest is not permanent. Feelings are not permanent. Everything in this world is changing constantly. The way someone feels today is not how they will feel tomorrow. And especially when it comes to relationships, emotions shift faster than anything else. Think about it. There are people who once loved each other deeply and later became strangers. And there are also people who were once strangers and later fell deeply in love. So what changed? The connection? No. The internal state. Your specific person is not some fixed character. They are responding to the version of you that you are holding in your mind. Right now, if you are seeing them as distant, uninterested, or cold, then that is the version you keep experiencing. Not because it is the truth, but because it is the story you are repeating. And this is where most people go wrong. They try to change the person without changing the story. They try to force movement in the 3D, while internally, they're still stuck in the same fear. You don't make someone miss you by chasing them. You don't make someone miss you by constantly checking on them. And you definitely don't make someone miss you by reminding them of your presence again and again. You make someone miss you when your energy shifts from lack to certainty. When you stop thinking, why are they not texting me? And start living in a state where it feels normal that they want you. Because missing is not created by effort. It is created by absence combined with emotional impact. And emotional impact comes from how you show up in your own mind. Right now, you are too available to them mentally. Even if you are not talking, you are thinking about them all the time. You are checking their last scene. You are imagining what they are doing. You are making them the center of your world. And when you do that, you automatically put yourself below them. You make them important and you're self-dependent. But a person who is truly valued does not behave like that. A person who is loved and desired is not constantly worried about losing someone. They are not overanalyzing every action. They are relaxed. They are secure. They are focused on their own life. So if you want them to miss you, you have to become that version, not by pretending on the outside, but by actually shifting your inner state. Start asking yourself a simple question. If I knew for a fact that this person is already obsessed with me, already missing me, already thinking about me all the time, how would I feel right now? You wouldn't feel anxious. You wouldn't feel desperate. You wouldn't feel the need to check anything. You would feel calm. You would feel confident. You would feel chosen. And that feeling is what you need to practice. Because manifestation is not about forcing something to happen. It is about becoming the person for whom it is already happening. When you start living in that state, your behavior changes naturally. You stop stalking them. You stop reacting to every small thing. You stop seeking validation. And this is where the shift begins. Because now Instead of you missing them, your energy starts pulling them back. They start thinking about you randomly. They start remembering moments. They start feeling your absence without even knowing why. And this is not magic. This is how connection works on a deeper level. When you detach from chasing and step into certainty, you create space. And in that space, their emotions have room to come back. But if you keep filling that space with desperation, there is no room for them to feel anything. Another thing you need to understand is that your imagination is more powerful than your current reality. Right now, your 3D is showing you that they are not interested, but your imagination can show you a completely different version. And the version you keep returning to in your mind is the one that eventually becomes real. So instead of replaying what went wrong again and again in your mind, you need to consciously start creating new scenes that support the reality you actually want to experience. Right now, your mind is used to going back to the past, to old conversations, to moments where things started falling apart. But if you keep feeding that version, you are only keeping it alive. Now, imagine something different. Imagine looking at your phone and seeing their name pop up with a message full of emotion. Imagine them calling you, not out of boredom, but because they genuinely miss you and want to hear your voice. Imagine them saying things that you always wanted to hear, expressing how much they think about you and how they regret letting distance come between you both. Don't just see it like a movie, but feel it as if it is happening right now in your life. The key here is that you are not imagining this as a future possibility or a wish that may or may not come true. You are stepping into a version of reality where this is already happening. There's a huge difference between hoping for something and internally experiencing it as normal. When it feels like something far away, your mind keeps chasing it. But when it starts to feel natural, your mind accepts it as your truth. And once your mind accepts something as normal, your outer world has no option but to reflect it back. You don't need to force these thoughts or try too hard to make them perfect. You don't need to sit for hours stressing about whether you are visualizing correctly or not. What matters is consistency and the feeling behind it. Even if it's for a few moments, when you think about them, let it be from a place where they already care, where they already miss you, where they are already coming towards you. At the same time, understand that your mind has been trained in a different pattern for a long time. It is used to doubt. It is used to fear. It is used to going back to the worst case scenario. So naturally, there will be moments where old thoughts come back. You might suddenly remember something they said or something that hurt you, and your mood might shift. But that does not mean you are doing anything wrong. It simply means your mind is following its old habits. And in those moments, instead of fighting with your thoughts or getting frustrated, you just gently bring yourself back to your new story. You remind yourself that what happened before is not your present truth anymore. It was just a reflection of who you were being at that time. And now you are choosing something different. You are no longer the version of yourself who is confused, ignored, or waiting for someone else to decide your value. You are the version of yourself who is chosen, who is remembered, who is naturally missed without having to ask for it. This shift in identity is everything, because people don't respond to your words as much as they respond to who you believe you are. The more you stay in this new identity, the more stable it becomes. And once it becomes stable, your reality starts aligning with it in ways that feel almost effortless. Another important thing that you need to stop doing is constantly checking the 3D for validation. This is where most people slow down their own manifestation without even realizing it. They start doing the inner work, they feel good for a day or two, and then they immediately look at their phone, their messages, or their social media, trying to see if something has changed. And when they don't see instant results, they fall back into doubt. But that checking itself is coming from a place of not having. It is silently affirming that nothing has changed yet, that you are still waiting, that your desire is still missing, and that energy keeps the same reality in place. Instead of doing that, you have to learn to trust what you are building internally. Think of it like planting a seed. When you plant a seed in the soil, you don't dig it up every day to check if it has grown. You trust that something is happening beneath the surface, even if you cannot see it yet. In the same way, your assumptions are taking root in your subconscious mind. And even if there is no visible movement right now, things are shifting in ways you cannot yet observe. And when the shift finally appears in your reality, it often happens faster than you expect. Situations that felt stuck suddenly start moving. A person who was distant suddenly reaches out. Conversations that seemed impossible start happening naturally. You can go from complete silence to constant communication. You can go from feeling ignored to feeling prioritized. But none of this starts outside. It all begins with the version of you that you choose to be internally. So instead of trying to control their actions, their timing, or their behavior, bring your focus back to yourself. Bring it back to your thoughts, your assumptions, your self-concept, because that is the only place where real control exists. Start becoming the version of you who is naturally valued, naturally respected, and naturally desired. Not because you are forcing anyone to feel that way, but because that is who you believe you are at your core. When you truly step into that version, you stop seeking attention because you no longer feel the lack of it. You stop trying to prove your worth because you already feel worthy. You stop chasing because there is nothing to chase when you believe that what you want is already yours. And this is the point where everything begins to change. Because people can feel this shift, even if you don't say a single word. Your energy changes, your presence changes, the way you respond to things changes. And without you doing anything on the outside, they start feeling drawn towards you again. They start thinking about you more. They start missing you in moments where they didn't before. They start wondering about you, remembering you, and slowly moving back into your life. Not because you forced it, but because you became the version of yourself that naturally creates that response. This is your power. And once you understand it, you will never feel the need to chase anyone ever again. I hope this helped you. I will meet you with another golden nugget soon. Happy manifesting.